Good morning. I'm Attorney General Jeff Landry, and we're here today at the Federal Building on Elmwood. Why? Because Lease Sale 257 is actually happening. And why is that a good thing? It's a good thing because back in January, one of the first executive orders that President Biden issued was to halt these types of lease sales. And we went into federal court right here in Louisiana against the president back then, and a federal judge agreed with us that the president was violating the statutes and his obligation to the Constitution and would be required to instruct the Department of Interior to conduct lease sales. And again, why is it a good thing? Why? Because if you look at the price at the pump since the president has taken office, you'll see it has grown tremendously. And it affects the middle class and those in poorer positions more than it does the rich. And that's unfortunate, because every day as the price of energy, the price of food, the price of our electricity bills, the price of gasoline goes up, it continues to take more money out of the pockets of people who need it the most. And guess what? At a time when what's around the corner? Santa Claus. So how is that going to affect Christmas? And so we want to make sure that everyone understands the importance of what's going on today, but it's not enough. The president still, and the Department of Interior, still have halted the 5-year lease plan. And so if the president wants to make good on his word, like that, which he uttered last week, instructing his federal agencies to lower the cost of energy for Americans, he needs to start by implementing the 5-year lease plan. And if he doesn't, we'll again look at ways which we'll have to unfortunately go into the courts and ask them to do that. So again, I thank you for coming out today and sharing this important day from us. It's not enough. We need the 5-year lease plans to go into effect, and we're happy to take any questions.
So how quickly this doesn't happen overnight. These lease sales, it's a good thing. It reopens the door. How long does it take to see any sort of impact, for the people that you're talking about at the pump?
Well, you exactly to your point is why the 5-year lease plan is so important, because this lease plan was put in place prior to. So, it's like a revolving door, and it takes time for the information to be processed through this building so that we can get to the point of having these types of lease sales. And so if all of a sudden you stop it, it's like putting a stick in a spoke, and it stops the whole wheel. And every day that goes by under which we don't implement the 5-year lease plan is more days that basically put off the ability to have the next lease sale. And so then the question is asked, well, how will that affect the pump? Well, if you continue to restrict the ability of oil and gas operators to go out and search for and then explore and then produce oil, you ultimately continue to reduce the supply. And if demand goes up and supply goes down, then you get higher gas prices. Today we're seeing, I believe, artificially high gas prices, and that's based upon the Biden administration's policy and their continued attack against oil and gas.
So we're talking, if it all goes as good as it could go, we're talking months, year, or something that what might be able to change it, so when I go to the gas pump, I'm not groaning every time.
Well, here's what I tell you. As a wise man once told me, the best time to plant a tree, 30 years ago or today. And so what I tell you is that every day that goes by absolutely affects the price at the pump.